Vamos assistir mais um aqui que trocou de fase.
It'd be busy, busy, busy all through the day. You get up and you just go right to work, you know, right to work.
There was always something to do. There was never any idle time. The only idle time we had was after we eat and before we go to bed.
One of the older people would just be relaxing, laying down there and saying, you know, it'd be really nice to hear a story. And then just organically, someone would just start telling a story.
Storytelling for the Nupiaq people is very important because it not only created that sense of community, but is a way to pass on wisdom to the next generation.
It was like TV, you know? It was just like, it was as good as anything, any movie you've ever seen. And the storyteller told it so clearly that it was just as powerful as any of the greatest movie blockbusters you've ever seen.
There was a reason behind the stories that we were told because they held traditional knowledge. They held things that we might need to know in life, whether it was about how to find food or how to survive, or it was about well-being and the importance of connecting with people and being a good member of the community.
We all do stories. We all live in stories. We all tell stories to our friends. And they need to be told. They need to be heard.
So scrimshaw is this really beautiful method of art that's done either on baleen or ivory, and traditionally it was used to tell stories.
Each etching is telling a story of some event. Caribou hunting was taking place. This is what was going on. War began around this time. And so it sort of gives you a timeline of history through etching.
An elder or the person who carved it would literally be able to read the scrimshaw story.
They're like reading a book, in a way.
A lot of the storytelling traditions would be things that after the storytelling was done, we'd just rely on the next person telling it. And so scrimshaw is a very important way for Alaskan Native people to record their history.
Eu vou colocar até o vídeo da raposa ali, que eu acho que são dos vídeos do início.
When I was growing up, my grandpa had a pet white fox. If you're a good friend with a fox, when there's danger abound, they try to keep you from getting into trouble.
Sim.
They pull tricks here and there, and foxes are like spoiled little kids in a way. When you let her out, she'd go prancing out in the snow, jumping in the air. I know she was happy then. Come running at me and jump on my chest, knock me backwards, lick my face, and I try not to let it. So that was my memory of my grandpa's pet fox.
Pera aí que tem mais um, tem o das roupas, aí depois a gente joga. Basicamente o jogo foi montado com histórias de várias pessoas, tá ligado?
It provided for us in many ways.
Our clothing in those days was made of all caribou skin.
I grew up wearing caribou pants, mittens, caribou skin mattress, blankets.
Some people had boots that were made with wolf leggings, sealskin sole bottoms. Baleen was shaved to make insoles. They kept us quite dry and warm as well. But the caribou skin clothing was the best. We would get as many yearlings as we could for our outer clothing. And for a heavy winter, we would get caribou in February or March because the hair was the longest and the skin was the thickest, and we would use those for our winter gear. With that stuff on, you could sleep outside in 50 below and it wouldn't
Deve ser
bother you
muito
a
boa
bit.
essas roupas pra dormir, tá ligado?
Deve ser um fedor também, né?
Não sei. Não deve sentir cheiro de nada com o nariz congelado. Tá, agora vamos voltar pro jogo, gurizada.
Iveaksiarolu ikikka aanarvini. Agalaan maluunaqsingamalo. Injoholuk tikingamalok iveaksiarolu piingaan. Ivahalaksimalok sumittaimma. Nikatjakkumanyaanniqsuq. Pakit qaangaarnagu ivaqtani. Nunaaqqiq ikiwaqtuaganiqsuq. Inyungi tuquttaqtaaganiqsit.
Basicamente ela se perdeu na nevasca, quando voltou tinha um cara tacando fogo em tudo, tá ligado?
Niveaksiarolu upperingitka tautuktani. Tautukunaqtuaq sunapayaaq siquminganiqsoq. Niveaksiarolu inyuliaqatingi pisaullaganiqsut. Qanaquimña aluquliqpallqiñam tainnaqumiñaitka. Tamaanga ikumauaqtuamin qaqraaqpam iñua niptaqtuq. Sumaalagullaqami niveaksiarulu itiningani.
O bicho não voltou. Voltei que ela não subiu. Caceta. Bugou aqui? Ah não, tá descendo. Porra, velho, vai embora. Desce aí, bichinho, desce aí. Aí, agora sim. Tem que estar no lugar certo com a raposa pro espírito te ver e ficar na posição
Agalaan
certa.
qaqraaqpallqiñat sagavingaitit.
As pessoas.
Immenjauret sagaveqimiut samanga nunamin. Pakaguhutin nunaaqimin.
Ih, deu ruim. Vamos de novo, vamos de novo. Essa parte das pessoinhas é muito legal. Tá, mas o bicho tinha que vir aqui, cara. Por que ele não vem? Não, cara. Depois eu vejo contigo isso aí. Ah, tá dando alguma coisa errada aqui, porque o bicho tinha que descer aqui, cara. eu ficasse parado aqui, ele tinha que vir. Ah não, era pra pendurar, era pra pendurar.
Hai kuin tuting. Ukallak tok inyugungaruak upik. Kano ko ilisimanek pa ka? Isumulak tok ni Beak siya karualo. Kano kita pura kau nagagingagik pen. Hilaw di ka piup ko. Ikayo ko niya kalawik pinkimon dahil nanakit. Sa bakit ilama?
Vamos fazer o seguinte, agora a gente tem que ir nos vídeos de novo, porque vai dar o vídeo das pessoinhas. A gente tem que ver todos esses, mas são curtinhos, são curtinhos.
Silla is the weather. It also means the atmosphere. Here's the nuna, or the land. And it's anything from the land into the moon, the sun, the stars. That's Silla.
It's a very spiritual, and we have a relationship with Silla. Silla has a soul in the same way we do as people, in the same way animals do.
I think spirit helpers in and of themselves are really about how we're connected with things. And so it may be that there is a spirit helper that shows themselves as a bird to show you the way home, or it may be a spirit helper that actually decides to show themselves with the face and body of a man instead of their animal form. And so I think one of the things that's hard to understand is that it's not one way of seeing things, it's one way of knowing you're connected to everything.
We've always had that spirituality of everything around us.
It's the interaction you have with the air you breathe, the ocean that you gather resources from, the rivers from which you gather fish, the tundra from which you pick berries, the animals that give themselves. It's all of that.
Muito legal esse ponto de vista, né, velho?
In the winter, when we were traveling, we didn't build sod houses, we built snow houses. In Canada, they call them igloo, but here in Alaska, we call them apuya. We'd do a day of travel, and then we'd make a apuya. The next day, my father would set traps, spend the day there, rest the dogs, give them something to eat.